Something big is happening in the world of finance. It's happening quietly, but it's massive. It's a coordinated plan to challenge the one thing that's been the bedrock of the global economy for over 70 years, the US dollar. So let's break down what's really going on with this huge shift that honestly could affect every single one of us.
And it really all kicked into high gear with this number, $300 billion. In early 2022, after the conflict in Ukraine began, Western countries did something pretty much unprecedented. They froze that amount of Russia's foreign currency reserves.
For the rest of the world, especially for countries not in the Western camp, that sent an absolute shockwave. It was proof that the money they thought was safe, their US dollar assets, could be basically turned off overnight with sanctions. That moment was a massive, powerful wake-up call. So what do you do when you get a wake-up call like that? Well, that brings us to the first part of the response. And for that, we have to look at China, which went on this quiet but enormous buying spree of a very, very old asset, gold. For 18 months straight, China's central bank kept buying gold every single month. They added a whopping 316 tons to their official stash. You can see right here, they're not just dabbling. This isn't some short-term play. This is a very deliberate, very long-term strategy. So officially, this brings their total holdings to more than 2,264 tons. That makes China the world's sixth largest official holder of gold. It's an incredible number, but here's the thing, that's probably not the real number. In fact, a lot of people who watch the markets closely think China's actual gold hoard could be double, or maybe even triple what they admit to publicly. They think huge amounts are being stashed in accounts that aren't reported. Why? To create a stash of wealth that is completely sanction-proof. I mean, think about it. You can't freeze or delete a physical bar of gold with a keyboard.
So we have to understand the why behind all this. Buying gold is the what, but the real story is the motivation, which is what some are calling the weaponized dollar problem.
Right now, the US dollar makes up a staggering 58% of all the foreign currency reserves in the world. It's the default language of global trade and finance. And of course, that gives the United States an incredible amount of economic power. And because of that power, you're hearing this big term pop up everywhere, de-dollarization. It sounds complicated, but it's really just this. Countries strategically trying to untangle themselves from the US dollar, to do business and save money in other currencies, all to get back some financial independence. And you don't even have to guess the motivation. This quote from Vladimir Putin lays it out pretty bluntly. He's essentially saying when you're cut off from the dollar system, you don't have a choice. You're forced to go out and build something new.
And listen, this isn't just one or two countries going it alone. This is becoming a team sport. The strategy is now being coordinated by a major economic bloc that is actively trying to build the plumbing for a world that's less reliant on the dollar. We are talking about the BRICS alliance. You've probably heard of them, but look at how much this group has grown. It started as 5 countries, and now it includes major energy producers and key economies from all over the world. Together, they are a huge and growing slice of the global economic pie.
And here is a really crucial piece of the puzzle. For decades, the whole world has used a system called SWIFT to move money. But SWIFT is really just a secure messaging system. It tells banks where to send the money. China's alternative, CIPS, is a whole different beast. It combines the messaging with the actual money transfer. It's the message and the delivery truck all in one, which allows it to completely bypass the old Western-controlled system.
But let's be real. To dethrone a king, you can't just be different. You have to be better. And this is where new technology comes in, which could make a non-dollar system not just possible, but way faster and cheaper.
Okay, think of it this way. The current system is like sending a letter through the mail. It has to go through multiple post offices, and each stop adds time and cost. The new system they're building, using something called Wholesale Central Bank Digital Currencies, or WCBDCs, well, that's like sending a direct, secure email. It lets central banks settle payments directly with each other, instantly, with no middlemen. And the incentive to switch? It's huge. A pilot program for this tech, called mBridge, found that it could make international payments up to 80% faster and 50% cheaper. I mean, those aren't just small improvements. Those are revolutionary numbers that could get a lot of countries to jump on board fast.
And hey, this isn't some science fiction idea. You've got serious economic experts, like the ones who wrote this paper, who are confirming that this new financial tech could genuinely break the network effects that have kept the dollar on top for all these years.
So, let's put all the pieces together. You have the political will, driven by sanctions. You have the strategic hoarding of a physical asset like gold. And now you have this breakthrough technology that makes an alternative system genuinely better. That's not just the plan. That's the recipe for a fundamental change to the global order.
But you better believe a shift this big isn't going to happen without a fight. This recent statement from Donald Trump threatens huge tariffs on any country that moves away from the dollar. It shows you just how high the stakes are. This is no longer just an economic debate. It's a full-blown geopolitical showdown.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, right? Are we watching the quiet birth of a totally new, multipolar financial world where lots of different currencies share the spotlight? Or is this simply the most organized, most technologically advanced challenge the dollar has ever had to fight off? Honestly, the answer to that question is going to define the global economy for decades to come.